Oh, hello there. I did not see you there. You see, I'm just chilling here, looking at the field for the money making potential. Because I'm not really here for the sake of nature and just enjoying my time and just intaking the fresh air, enjoying just looking at trees and all that. No, I'm actually here for the sake of money. Because when I see this field, I do not see beauty in it. I see money. That's kind of the thing. I'm a very money oriented person. You see, when I go outside and when I look at people, I judge them based on how much money they make. I look at their materialistic possessions, I look at their cars, I look at their clothes, are they groomed, are they wearing expensive jewelry? And based on that, it is me who will choose if I either want to respect them or I want to shun them. Because the things that I really hate the most in this life are broke people and fanboys. The one of those two is a lie. You see, I do not judge myself on the based if I'm like human or spirit. I'm not judging myself based on that. I'm judging myself on the amount of money I make. You see, these kidneys, they cost like, I don't know, $50,000. You see this brain, even though there's nothing much in it, it still possesses some value on the marketplace. Because money is the reason why I live for. I live for money. I don't really care about experiences or just feeling like good or spiritually connected, or if I'm making connections with other people, if I'm like making good friendships, if people will remember me after I die. I only care about money. Because money is everything to me. I live for money. I have sex with money. I am asexual, money sexual, cash sexual, dollar sexual. Where the fuck am I going with this? Welcome back everybody to another episode of Cigarillos Talk. I have been talking for 2.5 minutes about nothing. Anyways, there's this question that I have been asking myself for quite a long time, and I have been implementing this topic and this question around some of my friends. And the topic in general is just the question if being moral is actually beneficial for you. And I'm talking specifically in the terms of making money, because I believe that yes, being moral is a good thing for you. It's a good thing for your spirit, it's a good thing for your soul, it's a good thing to feel content and to just feel fulfilled in life. Because every single thing that you do wrong, or the things that you perceive as wrong or evil, will leave a big burden on your own soul. But I'm now talking about the money. Because money is a very different topic. It's a very big topic, and many people revolve their lives around money, even though they don't really think about it that much. Because people work for the entirety of their lives for money. It's not a lot of money, it's just enough money to survive. But it is still money. That's kind of the whole concept why you work. I'm not really working for the sake of, ooh, I enjoy my job. I love doing the job that I like. No, I'm at my job place because money. And because that job is very close to my place where I live, so that I do not have to spend a lot of times commuting. So the reason why I work is money. But here's the thing, is it really that good for me to work? Because I'm not really earning a lot of money. I'm earning just enough money for me to survive and to give some small amounts to my family. So the question is, if I want to earn a lot of money, not really for survival, but to actually live, because right now I'm not currently living, I would say. I'm actually just working and I'm just dedicating time for my work. Then later I just do a little bit things on YouTube and training. So if I want to ask myself, okay, I do not want to live here. I actually want to do something far more in my life. I want to achieve something far greater than that, which is to earn more money. With money, you can buy freedom. That's generally a good thing. That's generally a fascinating concept. If you have more money, you can acquire more freedom and more time to do the things that you actually want and that you actually like. That's the whole concept that all of these influencers are selling onto you. They want to sell you the concept that if you start an online business, you'll be able to work from home and you will have much more time. You'll have much more control over your time. That's kind of the thing. It is not really the time that you will have. It is the fact that you can control the time that you have. That's the reason why many people hate school. You have to be at a specific place at a specific time. Where am I going with this? It is the question if earning money is a moral thing, and if it's like earning a lot of money, it is a moral thing. And if the method of you earning money, or the specific method that you're earning money from, is a morally good thing. Because you see, I did some very unmoral methods of earning money. The same with my friend. I'm gonna tell the story of my friend and I'm gonna tell my own story. Because if you want to achieve something that's good for you, you kind of need to make money. But here's the thing. You do not make money. You take money. That's the whole thing. Many people misunderstand. Many people go from the perspective of, oh, I'm gonna make money in this world. I'm gonna make a lot of money. No, you're actually taking money from other people. And by you taking money from other people, what does that actually mean? It means that you're kind of selling a product or a service, or you're just selling your time. That's the whole thing. That's the thing that you're working at your job. You're selling 8 hours of your life, of your day, to a company, and that company is giving you money for your time spent at that company. Very simple concept to grasp. Now the question if it's like if that company is like exploiting you for some reasons or like other, that's a whole different topic. What I want to say is that you kind of need to exploit other people for you to gain money. If you want to sell a product, if you want to sell these videos that I'm currently selling to you, because right now you're spending money watching my videos that in the future I will be earning money from, because right now I'm not earning money from YouTube. You need to sell something. Either being your character, or your looks, or your potential, or your knowledge. You need to sell something. And by you selling something, you kind of have to trick the other person into believing that your product is valuable. That's the reason why when many people sell their own cars, they will not say every single thing that happened to that car. They will not say every single repair thing, every single broken thing. They'll not really go into details. They will tell you the best things at first, and then later, in a smaller text format or something like that, they will list out the bad things, just for the fact that he can say that he listed those things. That's the reason why there are many commercials on the internet or on TV who are selling a product, but really with a small text, with a very small text at the bottom of the screen, there's like saying that the size of the product is not proportional to real life. What I want to say, you have to lie. You have to manipulate, you have to trick other people into giving you money. So by fact that you're earning a lot of money, is that necessarily a very good thing? Is that very a moral thing? That's the whole question. Is being moral very beneficial for you? Because the more I grow, the more I see it, morality is a scam. Morality is the thing that people invented for their own benefits. But there are many different societies. There are Asians, there are black people, there are white people, Caucasians, Native Americans. All of these societies created morality for their own benefit. What is moral for you right now is 100% unmoral for other people. You see, a very moral thing in China or Japan or North Korea or South Korea is being very productive. Selling a lot of hours of your day into providing something for society, into being very productive. That's not really a very moral thing in, I don't know, white nations, or like, I'm from a Slavic nation. I'm not really familiar with Western culture and all of that. What I want to say is that the things that moral for you are not moral for other people. So, for example, I can come from the perspective that if I earn a lot of money by exploiting other people, that's a very moral thing for me, because I'm using that money to feed my own family. That's a very unmoral thing for that other society, because that other society is losing resources, like they're losing money. So the whole question is, if being moral is a good thing, that's generally a good question for me to ask. My friend, here's a little story time for you guys. My friend wants to become an OnlyFans manager, which basically is just selling, not really selling, it's just basically managing an OnlyFans page of a certain girl or a model or a boy. I don't know if he's gay, probably not. Anyways, he'll be the person who is going to be responsible for managing an OnlyFans page, an Instagram page, and he's going to be responsible for promoting that page so that more people can click on that page, so that that influencer can gain more money and he can gain his own cut of like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80%. First of all, he's exploiting that girl, because that girl does not possess the knowledge that he possesses of managing and management. Because that girl can literally just be earning 100%, because it's her page. But on the other hand, my friend will be exploiting sexually depraved men who are very lustful for their own money. And here's the thing. Here's the argument. Like, there will always be people who will buy products like these. There will always be people who are very horny, who are very down bad, who are very sad, who have addictions. There are gonna be people like that. Is it a good thing for you to like provide them a better service? You want to buy a gambling house, you want to create a gambling house. And you know that there's a population that wants to gamble. They want to gamble their life savings away. But right now, there's like 10 kilometers away from them, the closest casino. And they are spending a lot of their time going that 10 kilometers to that place and going back. And here's the question. Those men they will not give up. They have that hard mentality in their head of like going and just gambling. If that casino closes, they will find the next closest casino, which will be like 20 kilometers away, and they will not really give up. So here's the question. Because those people will just always find a way to give away their money, is it a good thing or is it a morally good thing for you to open a casino close to their place? You kinda understand my point. Those people will be exploited. Those people are at the position where they kinda want to be exploited. So that's just free money. You can just literally take free money. That's kind of the thing. My friend will be exploiting vulnerable people for their lustful actions for his own benefit. He'll be earning money from that. And he'll be earning a lot of money from that because he has a very good audience. It's the same case with me. I want to create a channel where I give hope and give young people like life advice. I want to be a coach. Here, an example. I want to be a self-improvement coach. I want to be a self-help guru. But the problem is, I do not know you people. I do not know who you are or where you live. I do not know your genetic potential. I just do not know you. So by me selling products to you, I have to stumble in the field of manipulating and scamming and selling false hope. That's the thing. That's an unmoral thing to do in this life. Selling false hope. My advice will help some people. Go to the gym, make money, do this, focus on meditations, focus on journaling, all of this bullshit. Looks max, money max, dick max. There are people who are just so genetically fucked who will not be able to achieve that. So that's kind of the problem. By me selling a product, it's kind of an unmoral thing because I will have a huge audience, and that huge audience there will be many varieties of people. There will be people who are Indian, there will be people who are Muslim, there will be people who are from Africa, there will be people who are from Scandinavia. My advice will not be suitable for all of these people because these people come from different cultures. And by me selling false hope, because they're just genuinely people who are stupid out there, who will listen to whatever I say, I will be at fault because I'm selling false hope. Here's the thing, there are many stupid people out there. You need to understand what I'm saying. You need to actively observe what I'm saying. You cannot just listen to me and say like yes. You cannot be a yes man. You need to observe. You need to give me constructive criticism. You need to critical think. You need to focus on critical thinking because the things that I say could be very wrong. I'm 21 years of age. I do not possess 2000 years of knowledge. I do not possess wisdom. This is my first time living. Genuinely, this is my first time living on this planet. How can you expect me to know some shit? I'm just a young guy, broke young guy, living in the Balkans, living in Western Europe. Is it really West? East? East, West? South? Po? Orthodox? I'm retarded. You need to understand, you need to judge people who they are. Which you actually cannot. You do not know who I am. I could be lying to you. I could actually be fucking filthy rich. But I'm pretending to be broke. Or the opposite. I could be broke right now, pretending that I'm broke, whilst I'm actually extremely rich. I'm going off topic. Is being moral a good thing? Is being moral a beneficial thing for you? You need to understand what are you doing. You need to understand from which money source are you getting money, because working a 9 to 5, you're actually feeding the dreams of someone else. If you work for a company, you're feeding the dreams of that company's manager, or that company's boss, or that company's founder. You're feeding their dreams. Is it really moral for them to exploit you for minimal wage? Not really. Is it really moral of you to work at that job? You see, you're earning an honest paycheck. Actually, not really. You should be earning far more. Because today's economic status is very fucking bad. I cannot buy a house right now with 20 years of working. I have to go to a bank to buy a loan. Which once again, I will be enslaved to the company, to the banks right now, because I will have to pay off my loan for years and years. That's for the concept of me if I have like a bright future, which I do not really see a bright future in my own self, because the economic status is bad, the dating marketplace is also fucked, and just in general, the only things that I have right now are my family and my close friends. That's the only thing that I currently have that I live for. I do not see it as a very beneficial thing to be moral today. Whatever you do, you will piss some people off. Whatever you do, these people will use morality against you. Because here's the thing. Morality can be very well used against you. Because morality can be used as a chains. as a chain. Because, you see, laws. Laws are also by definitions used as a chain against you of doing some things. There are many financial laws that you just cannot work around if you want to get rich. For example, if you earn a lot of money, you have to report that to the government, and then you need to pay a certain amount of taxation to that government, because that government is promising you like good roads, and the government is promising you like electricity, water, safety, medical, all of these things, which, yeah, to some sort of extent, yes, but where I live, the roads are fucking trash. The medical institutions are fucking trash. I mean, that's kind of the whole different topic of like the problems in the Balkans, for example, how the fall of the like oppression and like post-Soviet modernism and all these economical and political things that I'm just not really smart. One day when I was at my job, there was like a topic of like just jobs in general about earning money. There was like a discussion between a young guy and an older guy. I was like a middleman who was just sitting there at the table just drinking my coffee. And the younger guy was talking from the perspective of like this wage that he's living right now, the money that he's earning, is not sustainable. It is not a very good amount of money. Plus, the amount of money that he's earning is not also very good for his mental health. Because the job that I'm working is not very good for mental health of people. Because I work at the military. Yeah, I said it. I probably said it in the past episodes of like where I'm really working. I'm working a militaristic job. And the pay, yeah, I agree with him, is not very good for me. It's not very good, because think about it. Yes, it is sustainable for me if I'm alone. But my parents are getting old. My parents are getting very, very old. I will one day have to provide for my mother, my father, my grandpa, and my grandma. God heck if I find a girlfriend. Girlfriends are expensive. And one day she will become my wife. And one day I'll have kids with her. By the way, their parents of my girlfriend, their parents expect me to also provide for them. How the fuck with this paycheck am I supposed to provide for both my family, her family, and my kids, and my house, and everything? That's generally a good question. He's coming from that perspective. How the fuck can he provide for his own life? Because he's not living, he is surviving by definition. And that older guy is saying, because, for example, that older guy came from a different timeline, because he experienced a different life. He experienced a life that I did not live. He lived for 40 years. And he's saying like, oh, you should be thankful, you should be grateful. Because you're basically doing nothing. That's kind of the whole thing. You will work a job. And there will always be an older guy who will tell you that you're basically working nothing. That you're just there, just taking the paycheck. I mean, sometimes at my job, yes, sometimes there's like nothing to do. But there's sometimes times where there's like work is there. And that older guy was coming from the perspective of like, you should be grateful, you have a good paycheck, and you should also work something beyond your work. Which is just, you're working your entire life. Is that really life? Is that really living? I really dislike that concept of like working your entire life. You're a human being. People before worked less. Do you understand that concept? People in the feudal times, in the times where they're just like farmers, they will work during the summer. They will not work during the winter or during the fall. They will work during the spring and the summers. Because what can they realistically do during the winter times? They work hard during summer so that they can create the bread, they can create the fields, they can plow the fields, so that during winter they can just enjoy their times, they can just relax. It is very unnatural for us to work during winter times, but due to the industrial revolutions and due to the concept of productivity being so far more valued than our own mental health today, we're just working until we fucking die. And it is also expected of you to work something on the sidelines. It is just so wrong. It's just so mentally exhausting. It just hits me in the head in a very specific spot, which I cannot just describe to me. I just cannot describe to you people. That's not life. That's slavery. That's by definition slavery. You work at your job for a minimal wage, just so later you can also work a job. Like, people are celebrating the fact that they're working. There's this cool video that I saw on YouTube. It's from this very cool YouTuber that I started to respect lately, because he's like also a younger guy talking about many different concepts. And he said that only a slave quantifies his values through productivity. Many times at my own job, I see people who are constantly valuing themselves based on the fact how much they work. ooh, I work at my job, then later I work at a car company, and then later I work this, I work that. To me, you are a slave by definition. You do not have a life. You do not have adventures. You do not have that. Oh, you were placing you were making a roof of a house, and you earned this amount of money. What will you use that money for? You're just gonna use that for like to drink later, or to buy clothes, or to buy things. That's not life. You're just surviving. I do not see much character or identity in you. You're just working until you die. I do not see that as a sustainable form of living. So by definition, you kind of have to be unmoral in the concept of earning money. You kind of need to exploit other people. I'm not saying that you should kill other people. I'm not saying that you should hurt other people. I'm not saying that you should destroy other people. I'm just saying that by fact, by some definition, if we have to go through these topics and we have to go through the like semantics and saying this and saying that and what does this mean and what does that mean, by definition you have to exploit and manipulate other people for your own beneficial gains. By selling a product, by selling your service, you kind of need to lie. You kind of need to lie. That's life. That's life. And that's how I'm seeing it. Before I was like thinking like my parents told me. My parents were like telling me like find an honest job, like work in an office. I do not see that as my life. I do not visualize myself in the military for the next 5 years. God fucking dang it, man. I do not want to be there. Generally, it's like mental suffering. And it's like exhausting. It's mentally exhausting. Like later, I do not have the will to live. The highlight of my week, of the current week, because I'm recording this video at the last day of the week. The highlight of my week is literally recording this video. Is literally just being present and just talking and speaking my mind. The highlight of my week is literally going out with my friends. I'm not living. I have to go on autopilot when I go and work. When I have to go to work on my job. That's feeding immense motivation in my life to do something, creating an online business, record more videos, be more productive, be hard, be erect. Where am I going with this? I do not know. What I want to say is that morality can be used as a chain against you, against your success. You see, Andrew Tate. I'm gonna use the example of Andrew Tate. What did Andrew Tate do to accomplish his immense amounts of wealth? Well, first, he was exploiting young females, young women, to create his own webcam company. Then later, he started making all this content on short form videos and long form videos, and he created all these connections, and he was just rage baiting the entire internet into getting engagement. Then later, he started selling the course. Hustlers University or something like that, or the real world, where he's exploiting young men. He's like exploiting young men into thinking that they will become successful if they mimic what he did. So by definition, his money earning is very unmoral. But look at him. Yes, he was also in jail and all of that, I understand that. But fun fact, that jail incident feeded into his own kind of controversy. It also gave him much more popularity. He was earning a lot of money from that. If we were to right now look at his life, he can drink so much whiskey. He does not have to work a day in his life. He's driving Bugattis. He can go to a club. He can have infinite amounts of sex. He can buy whatever. He can live here. He can move out. If his country were to right now be attacked and bombed, he can move out. He can move out. I can literally come right here and say that your job is very unmoral, and you're working at the job, you're very unmoral, because one day your country will be attacked and you will not be able to move away. I understand that's kind of fear-mongering right now, and I'm sorry for that, but by definition, by fact, that's the truth. I right now do not have the funds and the capability of me moving away from my place if my place were to right now be bombed. Andrew Tate is living a life. Genuinely, I'm saying this by fact. I do not care if you love him or hate him. I'm just saying facts. Andrew Tate is living a life worth living. He is the main character. He's the main character of his own life. You're the side character of the main character of your own boss. You're in the sidelines. You're the side character in someone's story. Andrew Tate is the main character of his own story. And Tristan Tate. They're creating businesses. They're literally living the life. But they got their life through unmoral methods of earning money. And yeah, I can attack Andrew Tate, I can attack him by saying like, oh, you are a very bad person. So, being good or bad in this life is not really important anymore. People, I know that people will remember you if you did good or bad, but do you really care about what other people think? Or do you care what you think of yourself? See, Elon Musk, many people are clowning him on Twitter and social medias by saying, how can one person possess so much wealth whilst I suffer? Whilst I'm out there working a 9 to 5, I'm like wasting 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours of my day working a job just to barely eat ramen noodles from a microwave. How can one person, how is that allowed? For one person to have so much money. And yeah, I could say like in the defense of like Elon Musk, like he created SpaceX, he created Tesla, he created Cyberlink, I don't know, he created PayPal. I use PayPal. I don't really use Tesla products, but maybe one day I'll buy a Tesla. I'm using products that he made. I'm a very ungrateful motherfucker for saying that he should not deserve that amount of money. But here's the question. Is the amount of money allowed for him? Is it really a good thing? I understand both perspectives. I understand who the people who defend him, and understand the people who are angry at him. He's literally on his way to becoming a trillionaire. Multi-trillionaire. That's kind of the whole concept of morality. People are spinning morality against him, but here's the fact. He is successful. He's one of the best business models. He's one of the best businessmen out there. It's perspective. Everything is around perspective. If you were watching a documentary about a lion eating a gazelle, and he's bringing that gazelle to his own family, so that his cubs and that his lioness can eat the gazelle. Let's go, lion. Let's fucking go. That's a very moral thing. But if you're watching a documentary about a gazelle, that's fucking that's tragic. A gazelle died. A soul was lost on this planet. For what? For animalistic things. Because nature. There's no morality in the nature. We are animals. You are made out of biology. You're literally an animal. Yes, we're humans. There's something far more that separates us from like animals and from the animalistic and the naturalistic world. I mean, we literally created society. This little shed, or how do you say it, vidikovac, the thing that you sit on, that you like observe, use the things that hunters use. Chekusha. This was made by humans. This clothes was made by humans. When I go into the city, there's not a smidget of nature. Even the trees planted there, they're not really natural. People planted that there. There's no morality in nature. We humans created morality. It's a very animalistic thing. We spin morality into our own benefits. We spin morality into destroying other people. But in this life, you cannot really afford to be moral anymore. If you have the tools to earn money, you should use those tools. I'm not fear-mongering here. I don't want to fear-monger. There's far more life than money. But money can secure freedom. Money can secure time. And using that time for your own benefit, that's a very good thing. I have been talking for 37 minutes. I love you guys. Thank you for spending your time here. Thank you for just watching and listening to me ramble for like 40 minutes. Hopefully I will see you in the next videos. I do not know when, I do not know why. See you guys in the next videos. Love you guys. Peace.